MacBook. What's up guys? I'm here with a 2015 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro with an i7 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I just picked it up on Facebook Marketplace for $100. And you might be saying to yourself, whoa, that's really low. Surely the screen is shattered, right? It's not. Surely it's water damaged, right? It's not. We'll get to all that in a minute. You can see that it's in really good shape. It only actually has one small blemish on the corner there from maybe a drop in a bag, something that's very common like that. But if we open it up, you can see it does have a little hardware issue where the screen, while working, no cracks or anything on the display, it does flip back to purple and fuzziness when we move it back and forth. So that leads me to believe that it's actually the display cable that comes out of the display and goes to the board. And through the movie magic of purchasing one before this video, I have one. Wow, from iFixit, a great company. They have great parts, great guides, and not sponsored or anything, but they do have a lot of good work, and I appreciate it. 15 bucks, can't beat that. So I figured I haven't made a video in a long time. Why don't we dive in together and see if we can get this fully functional again? Now this fully working, remember I said I bought it for 100 bucks. Fully working in December 2021 can go from, anywhere from $500 to $600. I'm talking eBay prices here. And just in parts, if this did have a shattered screen, it could go up to $200. So it's really a no risk type of repair. I'd probably keep this if it ends up working right, because it's a really nice laptop. It's still highly sought out. And this is actually, I believe, the last MacBook Pro that you can replace this display cable, because I believe all the models after this, the display cable switch to a ribbon type cable that's integrated into the display, and if it goes bad, you just got to replace the display. Yay, Apple. So let's go ahead and dive in and see if we can get this thing fully functional. All right, I already have the back removed, so we're all ready to go. I had shut it down already, but we can lift these up. You can see we're gonna have to take out, let's see, there's these little caps here that just go over the hinges for the display. So we are gonna have to remove the display. I think I mentioned that, but just in case, we're gonna remove the display. It's gonna be fun. Come on, we're gonna have a good time. So we need to remove these Wi-Fi antenna cables and I believe Bluetooth. This is all for the little airport card, the wireless card. I don't know if they still call it airport card. Either way, we're gonna remove these antenna cables here because they go up through the display on this side. And on this side is where we have our display cable. Now I already tried reseating this side of it, didn't do anything. So I believe there is just a little break in there. But we can actually start by lifting up on this little tab here. If I can grab it. Oh, come on. Oh. Ah, there we go. And now we can just grab the latch there and pull it back. Unplug the cable, which I do have the other cable here. I guess I could show you that first. But you can see it comes with new hinges and everything because it's all built around the same thing. This is the portion that's going to go in the display, but we'll get there. And real quick, there's the part number in case you want it. It looks like it goes for 2012 to 2015 MacBook Pros, Retina MacBook Pros, 13 or 15 inch. So either one, same cable, pretty nice. So we went ahead and removed that display cable. We're gonna have to remove these little guys here. So let's go ahead and take those out. I'm gonna lift up gently on these wireless cables. Actually, should be using something more a little this speed, just because it's plastic. So we got those off. Okay. And we can just now grab these cables gently, and they're just adhered to this fan assembly. We could just peel them back. There's actually one other cable there. Let's see. That just pulls straight out. There we go. So we have a cable there and 3 antenna cables, and now we can just pull this back. Routed on there, so we can leave that for now. So now with the display cable off and these antenna cables off, we should just be able to, if I remember correctly, take out these 3 torque screws on each side of the hinges and remove the display. So let's go ahead and do that. I believe it's going to be a T8 screw, so I got a T8 screwdriver here, and it is. Okay, so yeah, let's remove these screws. And actually, I think there is one more screw, but we'll take a look when we take these out. So let's remove these 6 screws on the hinges. I'll set them aside here. Nice and tight. And I do have some Loctite that we can put back on these in the meantime, or not in the meantime, after we take it all out and go to reassemble. And that way they stay nice and tight, otherwise your display might start flopping around over some time. So I believe there is a little bit of Loctite on there. It's hard to see, but I believe there is a little bit of Loctite on each of these hinge screws. So we'll go ahead and do that as well. Okay, so we got the hinge screws out. I believe that might be it. Actually, I think there's 2 more small screws here. They look like a slightly smaller torque size. I'm gonna try a T6 here. I think these have to come out as well. Maybe a T5. Yeah, small screw, but I believe they're also holding the hinges in. So I'll remove those, just in case. Why not? I'm keeping track of all these screws over here on the left. So we'll take that out. There we go. Magnetize the screwdriver there. So let's go ahead and try to remove the display now. I think that's all that we needed to take out. Remove those caps out of the way. And let's see if I lift up on the display now. We'll see if it'll come. There it goes. I think it's coming off. Okay. And if I pull up here gently, let's see, is it getting hung up on anything here? Let's put that back down. Oh, I see. Okay, so there, that smaller screw that I took out actually holds these little, it's almost like a little bracket that's an extra point of contact for the hinges. We'll take those off. There we go. The other one. Feels like I'm a little dentist using this thing. But now we should be able to slide off the display, I believe. Let's see. So if I move it up at an almost 90 degree and pull back, let's see, maybe fully 90 degree. Just want to be very careful with this part here. So if we crack the display, that's pretty much it. Game over. Okay, got one side free. There we go. The display is free, so now we just have a top case here. Beautiful top case, we'll set that aside. All right, so after a lot of struggling, I was finally able to get off this small bezel portion. So we can move on with the repair now. So all we need to do now is there's a little bit of tape here, and we can, I hope you can see that, if not, sorry, but we can roll this tape back. And now the cable is free. I can see it, you can't see it in that position right now, but the cable plugs in under here. So we do have to remove this plastic portion here that has the antennas running through it, which there are some very small screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those, and then we'll be able to lift this out of the way and get to the other end of the cable. All right, and there we go. We have the display cable removed, the old one. It does look a little chewed up around the hinge. I guess I'm still feeling confident that this was the issue, but I guess we'll find out for sure. I'm just gonna go ahead and do everything in the reverse order, and I'll be right back, and hopefully we'll be able to test it and it'll work great. All right, so just as a test, I went ahead and reconnected everything loosely, and well, the connections are tight, and just kind of put this on here, reconnected it, turned it on, and unfortunately it is still doing the flashing. So it does seem like at that point, if the cable didn't fix it, there's something internally wrong with this display. So after some messing with it a little bit more, I was able to peel this back a little bit, and I did come up with kind of a fix. I mean, this will never be fully repaired, right? Unless you replace the display. But a temporary fix that I was able to get working was I rolled up a piece of electrical tape and I folded this back and put it behind this ribbon cable, because if I pushed it, it wouldn't really make it better, but like if it was in just a certain middle position, you know, it works fine. It still has some lines right here, like on the right side, just like where it's a little brighter. It's not as easy to see in person, but the phone's picking up pretty good right here. All right, guys, well, I have it all back together. I cleaned it up a little bit, it's looking great. And I thought, why not try to start it up together? And that way we can see if we made any difference at all to this $100 MacBook Pro. Starting up here. Got a nice Apple logo so far, no flickering or purple or anything like that, and distortion. Everything looks normal so far. And go into the desktop. Yeah, everything looks great. No flickering or anything. If I move this back and forth even really hard, it's staying, holding its image. There is that one, it's like a little brighter on this side, and there are some horizontal lines going across. It actually reminds me of old OS 10, but it looks like overscan on a CRT almost. But for the most part, it seems to be working great. The colors look mostly correct. It might be a little washed out, but they look really good. At least in my vision. I know it's hard to tell on the phone. We can look at the specs here. It's a 2.2 gigahertz i7, great. 16 gigs of RAM, awesome. And 250 gigs of storage, yeah, 250 gigs. Running Catalina right now. And I think this can run the most recent operating system. But yeah, we took this $100 MacBook Pro that was all distorted and everything, cleaned it up, and we were able to get it as far as we could possibly go without, you know, replacing the actual display. And I'm actually really satisfied with that because it's usable now. And like I said, you could use an external display, everything works perfect. And believe it or not, I'm actually editing this video on this MacBook right now. So I appreciate you guys if you were able to stick around, you stuck it out. Give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you absolutely hated it, you thought it was trash, you think it should be deleted, hit the dislike button. And hopefully, if you enjoyed this video, I will see you in the next one. Oh look, it's me editing this dingus video later that night. So I took it home, shut it down, turned it back on, and it is working perfectly now. I don't know why, but there are no scan lines. That light spot is totally gone. It's hard to tell on the phone, but it's working 100% now, and I have no idea why. But I've shaken it a ton, I've slapped it a few times. It's working fine. So somehow, guys, I think we fixed it, but I'm gonna take it on a trip for a few weeks to another state and go on a plane and all that stuff and see if it'll hold up. But in the meantime, I am 100% satisfied. Thanks for sticking around, guys.